Oh, hold on. You got to pause there because it's, you said the human frame is the same, right?
Yes.
And when you were giving that example, and that's where, I have an issue at times with some of us in the community where we look at someone and we say, okay, well, this person has money, so they're on a different level, or this person doesn't have money, oh, they're it really has nothing to do with that because the human frame is the same. We approach it and we might not have the same struggles, but if this kid in a $1 billion net worth family doesn't have his father around and is struggling with acceptance and self-love and all of that, and then this other kid who's living in abject poverty doesn't have his father around, who's struggling with acceptance and all of that, emotionally they're struggling the same. Now, one kid might be, like you mentioned, might be struggling on what we're going to have for dinner, and the other one that might not be an issue, but at the end of it all, they're still struggling with identity and acceptance. And that's the human condition. We have to be open to seeing that and getting through what is on the surface. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and he travels the world on private jets with different celebrities and athletes and all of that stuff. And I was talking to him about a few of these, high profile. If I name the names of them, you'd be like, oh yeah, everybody in the world knows these guys, right? And he was telling me, he said, dude, I've been on so many private planes with this particular individual. And he said, the funny thing is, we talk about having the same struggles as everybody else. He talks about having the same issues with his spouse, with his kids, with, this person at the house doing this and this person saying this on whatever. He has those exact same struggles, but he might just be on a private jet. He might not be worried about financial issues, but everything else are concerns that he deals with. And so it made me think about exactly what you're talking about. We can't put people on pedestals or on platforms just due to their socioeconomic status or their celebrity, because at the end of it all, if they're missing a spouse, or if they're missing a parent, or if they didn't have something in their life from an emotional perspective, that human response is the same.
Exactly the same. And that's the thing sometimes, because of we measure value, unfortunately, based on the monetary terms and material terms, then we sort of, we have an overestimation of other people's, or maybe we undermine, or we become indifferent. We become indifferent to people who have a lot. We become indifferent to their pain. We become indifferent to their struggle. We become indifferent to their hard work. And we want to then say, you know what, your hard work is not is not as hard as mine. Work has a lot of dollars next to it, and mine has a lot of zeros next to it. Therefore, we cannot compare our hard work. But the process of the human frame from where it moves. So even if a person moves from a place of privilege and one moves from a place of struggle in terms of comparison, at that moment, those two people are where they are. They have the capacity that they have, and they're having to move from there. Like, that is normal. And whatever is abnormal in that environment is going to alter, is going to impact them the same way. Now, let me give you a quick scenario, Brother Mike. Let's think about this. You have a poor kid in the township or in the ghetto. His father is there, his mother is there. They're having just grits, maybe with a little bit of, meat or sauce. That kid is there with his father, with his mother. They're having jokes. It's incredible. There is that privileged kid, high-rise building, penthouse somewhere in LA, and he's there by himself. Mommy is upset with daddy because daddy didn't come home again. There is a servant, comes, food on the plate, and all those silver covering, puts it on the plate. Who's having a great time?
Man, if you're paying attention to that example, who's having a great time? Yes, you have this person, this kid who maybe grows up with meager socioeconomic status that doesn't have a lot of stuff, but he has an intact family and there's love. It might not be a lot of stuff, but there's love there. Juxtapose or look at the opposite side to that. And you have this person who's in the penthouse, who has everything that you could imagine from a creature comfort, but he's sitting there by himself. Who's happier? Who is in a place of peace? Who, I'm gonna throw another component, who has the right environment to now grow from where they are? Because it's not always about where you end up. It's about that whole journey of getting there. What Booker T. Washington stated, that success is not determined by the position you hold, but the obstacles overcome to achieve that position, right? So